Ji-Yeun Rim
Yes.
just visited Elcano Royal Institute. She is the coordinator of a book recently published by the OECD Development Center, which is Social Cohesion Policy Review of Viet Nam.
Mm-hmm.
And she was here today to explain the main findings and policy recommendations included in this book. So, Ji-Yeun, welcome to Madrid and to the Institute.
Thank you.
And first of all, why this research?
Well, in 2012, the OECD Development Center published a book on social cohesion. And we looked at social cohesion in the midst of shifting wealth. So this is the shift of economic gravity from north to south and east to west, west to east, sorry. And with this change, we see that there is also that growth hasn't been translated into well-being for all, and that social unrests are likely to happen if we don't pay attention to how social cohesion is changing. And so after we published this report, there were interests from governments of fast-growing economies, such as Viet Nam, who has been experiencing fast growth for the past 2 decades. But there are many challenges in terms of social cohesion, inequalities, in terms of mobility, and also in terms of social capital trust issues amongst the population, but also towards public institutions. And they asked us to look into how social cohesion is changing in Vietnam.
And which are the main findings of the report of this book?
Well, overall social cohesion in Vietnam remains strong, but there are some red flags that we explain in the report, which includes, for example, the gaps in social protection. And this means, for example, there is a growing middle class, but about 67% of this middle class still work in the informal sector, and therefore they have no access to social protection schemes. So there's a big gap in terms of providing any social safety net to these groups. So they are middle class but very vulnerable and at risk of falling back into poverty. Another finding is that income barriers are very strong in terms of educational outcomes. So we see strong correlations between poor households and also ethnic minority or children from ethnic minority backgrounds and the educational achievements.
You approach social inclusion through these 3 dimensions of social capital, social mobility, and social inclusion. Which are the most important policy areas to consider, to pay attention in Vietnam?
I think we looked at several policy issues to enhance social cohesion. We looked at employment policies, as well as social protection schemes, education, health, and also fiscal. But I think one of the most important issues that needs to be addressed in Vietnam is fiscal policy and the need for to improve tax collection, and also the design of the tax system, the personal income tax formula, and also increase the social contract by first having the government provide good services and reliable services, so that there is a sort of also trust from the population to not evade tax and also contribute back in the system. And I think fiscal policy, good fiscal policy is needed in order to expand revenues for better social protection.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ji-Yeun.